What's up, you amazing soul warriors? Welcome to the Recovery Soulfood Podcast. We are a spiritually based, whole self healing, addiction recovery podcast, and I'm your host, Reverend Lona-LC-Currie, and I'm super grateful and honored to be able to be here tonight. It almost didn't happen. I'm telling y'all, we cut it close with the internet and it going out, and it has been one heck of an energy, and it is indicative of the world we live in, right? So much, so much. So that's the kind of day I've had. It's been filled with blessings and challenges. It's been filled with learning experiences. It's been filled with some amazing moments and some moments I wish just I could have skipped those and been all right. But again, I'm super grateful and honored to be here. We're going to talk some about year 6. If you're joining us new, we've been on a 10-part, what's going to turn out to be a 10-part series, and just taking apart each year of my recovery. In a few episodes back, I actually kind of compacted and told my story a bit, and it's still, every time I tell it, there's just seems to be so much that gets left out. But it just sparked me in telling that story and thinking about back over all that stuff. As I'm telling that story, I'm getting to experience it from the human that I am today versus being in the energy that I was even all those years ago and doing that work. And so for some reason I just felt this pull to create a series where I actually took apart each year of my recovery. So we're in year 6 tonight. Year 6 to me had a lot of integration. Now, if you don't know about integration, if you're on a healing journey, and if you're in a recovery journey, you got to be in a healing journey, because if you ever want to be free of that, that devil addiction, if you ever want to really be free of that, you got to go to where it lives. You got to find out why. Why am I so willing to damage my body and soul to not feel this pain? What is it? And I just have this core belief, and I got to believe it. Because to me, if this isn't true, if I can't get free, then it ain't worth it to me. And so that's what integration has been about for me, is as I'm thinking back over all of this stuff, I get to feel it and I get to realize how far I've come. And I think there's some valuable lessons. And like I said, year 6, I had to integrate all of the things I was learning. I was in the first year of really kind of understanding and feeling and being in this, what was developing into this new body, this new, more authentic version of myself. So that's happening. I'm still working through, I think that for me, a person like me that just experienced a lot of trauma, failed to process a lot of it, and just really lived with this one looming issue all of my life. I mean, when you feel like a foreigner within your own body, there is, it causes you to miss out on a lot in life. It causes you to always feel compromising. And so addiction was just this looming dark thing for me, because I never felt like I could honestly just be my own self. And I never thought, I didn't have hope for could I be happy in this world. And so when I stepped into addiction, like I said, I've been clean and sober many times, but I've only been in recovery once, because I only absolutely, from all my past failures, had that moment of clarity to say, I just don't want to keep running from this. And I know I have to do something different. And I had a motivation and an inspiration to do something different. So all just believing that if I went to the root cause of my pain, then I could get free of this addiction. And so all the work that I had been doing, all the work through the trauma, all of the work in, even my adulting skills, all the work I'd done on my self-esteem, which includes all of that stuff, holding a steady job and, like building your family or trying to rebuild your family or being able to be there to show up for your family. Like all of these things through all of my years, 1 through 6, all of these things, every time you get to show up and do something like that, every time you get to experience that new, you know, better feeling version of yourself, every time you get to experience that, you're building this level of confidence. And that's how we build self-love. And so in doing all that work, we come to year 6 is when I really had to bring my head knowledge, all of the practices and tools that I had worked on and developed, I had to bring it and really integrate it into my physical body. I had to start caring about my physical body. I had to start understanding the ways that it worked and what it needed. Because in my active addiction, I didn't care what it needed. I didn't care what my body was screaming for. I mean, I wanted to be sick. You know what I'm saying? Like I got more benefit from my body being broken down and all of that as an opiate addict that I didn't care to build it up. You know what I'm saying? And and so in year 6, that's starting to change for me. I'm starting to appreciate my vessel. I'm starting to look in the mirror and see the human that I've always, felt like I, was. And I'm getting to see that human. And my perspectives and my life starting to change, so I'm not real heavy anymore. I start loosening up on my anger, and I'm using these processes and tools that I've learned through years 1 through 5 in recovery. You're always you're always developing the tools and the skills and the wisdom and the experience that carries you through that next challenge. If you're in a recovery and a healing journey, that just is what it is. We're not going to reach a place, we're not supposed to reach a place where we level out and we're happy. You know what I'm saying? Happy is an experience. Happy is not necessarily a state of being where it's expected, where we can expect to be there all the time. And I'm starting to really, really learn this in year 6 of my recovery and healing journey. I'm starting to really let go of those destinations that I think will create the happiness. And I'm really starting to identify less with the external things that I think are going to make me happy and really start cultivating the ability to become happy from within. Now, I can tell you right now in year 11 that I am relearning this. I think there's different levels to healing. I think there's different levels to integration. I think there's different levels to everything. And as long as we continue to stay curious and as long as we continue to stay open to that initial prayer that you pray about being able to get free and create a life you love, I think that if we hold on to that and we have faith, then we know that we are still open to life. That, okay, I got these circumstances in front of me. When you get to a certain point in your healing journey, your faith is being built in every one of these circumstances. It doesn't feel like it right now, but faith and the next destination is in each one of it. It's being built in these times. So in year 11, I'm being revisited by this integration. I'm trying to at a different level become clear about who I am and what's my place in the world and am I doing enough? See, there's a wound of worthiness in every single one of us who have ever picked up a substance and repeatedly put it in our bodies to escape pain. There is a wound of worthiness within. And if you begin to look into the roots of where that is, and if you are willing to be open enough to see it, and it's hard right now with all the distractions around us. We This is like high speed distraction and division time. And it is so powerful. It is a powerful energy. We are having powerful planetary energetic shifts. They are affecting us at deep levels. Things may be coming up in your world that you thought you had put to bed, say in year 6, but they're coming up to show you maybe what's left over. They're coming up because maybe it's in that area where we're going to move to the next level. So they're coming back up, and it's tough. It's really, really tough. If we're able to be open and move through and with this energy, because listen, take an inventory of, if you find yourself all stressed out in the day, try to take a moment and take an inventory of what in the world you're worrying about. Are you worrying far in the future? Are you thinking way in the past? Are you staring at a fear? Are you afraid for some reason you're going to fail? What is it? Take an inventory and then ask yourself, of all these things that I'm scattering all of my energy to, what of them can I control? What of them can I do anything about in this moment? I'm working this system right now myself. What can I do about these things am I doing the best I can? In a culture that says we should always be doing more, hustle, 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 grind, 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 buddy, let me tell you, I'm learning. And it's really hard when we start to unravel deep belief systems. I'm learning that this this stuff is hard. I'm learning that I can only do so much, and if I'm doing my best, then isn't that all I can do? And so if I'm worrying about failure, I am spending energy, because we're not given a never-ending infinite amount of energy every day. Something that makes real good sense to me is the whole checks and balances thing. Using my energy like I use my checking account. I can only spend the amount of money that's in there, or I can go a certain amount in the negative. And so when I start trying to budget that energy out, I got to be real serious. And I'm 50 now. Like, I turned 50 this year. Celebrating and scared shitless. Scared shitless. No lie. Because I started feeling bad. Been not feeling the greatest. Been doing all the things that we're talking about right now. Been worrying about things that I have zero control about. Igniting my wound of worthiness. Am I good enough? Is this good enough? I'll share a story with you guys right now that really brings this home, and I promise there's a light at the end of the tunnel. There's something coming at the end of it if you move through it and you stay in that faith. So, I have a new business. This is my first year with like employees doing larger things on a larger scale. My wound of worthiness is automatically ignited. Can I do enough? Can I do it within the time that I say? Hard on myself, feel real bad on the days that we get rained out. Could I be doing something, and have a hard time with that. And so I'm ignited in that wound of worthiness right now. And I'm really trying to utilize, what I'm talking about when I'm doing this. And so I have a handful of clients in the work that I do, in home maintenance work that I do. And I have a new set of clients that have, for whatever reason, just been had a great vibe, and we just made a great connection. And I do a lot of stuff on, for them, and it's usually easy work. And so while I'm going do those things because I can do them well, and it's easy, and that kind of gives me that sense of, yep, still good, because the worthiness wound gets ignited on either side. You either feel too good for making it all right, or you feel really bad when you can't, or you don't. But in this other big project, I just haven't felt like I've done enough, even though I've done all I could. And I've been wrestling with this for months now. Really, really hard on myself. My health has been suffering. My my attitude. I've had to struggle and work harder to bring myself out of, this really negative energetic space. Just I hate to feel negative. I hate to feel heavy. And hate's a bad word when you say and you hate to feel heavy, because hate is heavy. But I don't like it. And I like to really try to take control of my emotions in the morning times. And so, I'm having to work. It seems like I'm working really hard. I'm not really experiencing life. I'm not having the experiences. I'm staying in constant some type of turmoil, it feels like, and my health is really is suffering. And so I had a pretty hard week, and I had done this thing for the clients that we'll call them the connected, because I feel so like soul vibe out connected with them. It's a great feeling when you open up to that. You can find your tribe, but they bought me this gift, and I had no idea. Like, I just couldn't believe somebody would buy me a gift, and they bought me this gift that in my eyes is a really expensive gift. And immediately, as soon as they bought that, as soon as I knew a gift was coming, I felt really uncomfortable inside. Oh, I could feel it, right here in my gut, like, oh, do I deserve that? I don't really deserve a gift. How do I receive this gift? Because we ask for a lot, but we don't know how to receive. And so, can I receive this gift? And I just moved with it and let myself do it. I let myself feel. Well, pop back to year 6, the integration. This is where I learned how to let myself feel what I was feeling and not take an action. Because that's my immediate response is, okay, if I feel it, let me take an action. Let me get it fixed up. And so I just let myself feel in with this gift, even before I knew what it was. I just knew where it was coming from, and I just kept thinking to myself, no way. Like, no way. No way they would have bought me something like that. So I really had no idea what it was. And when it came in, it was this really expensive, I might as well just say it, it's no big secret, but they bought me this really awesome, really huge Blackstone griddle. Man, like, I just couldn't believe it. But going through that, I've gotten this gift, and I've also gotten to really understand what it means to feel that worthy. It gives me a minute to kind of know where I am on the scale of how far I've come and how much farther I'd like to be able to go. I'd love to be able to be open enough to receive, to feel worthy enough to receive all that, God has to offer. The universe has to offer, the Tao has to offer, whatever your name is for the creation of that. I'd love to be able to feel deserving. And I think these are the ways that we learn to do it, is by learning and allowing ourselves to feel. And so when we talk about integration, say all that to say, integration's important. It's important to let yourself feel uncomfortable when you know you're moving towards something of change. And I just appreciate those people so much for doing that for me, because it not only gave me this awesome griddle that I in the nick of time cooked smash burgers for my whole family with, first time ever on it. It not only gives me that, but it gives me the gift to know that how sincere they are, and how just pure of a gift that is, and how I can relax in the knowing that that why wouldn't I? Why don't I feel like I deserve a gift like that? Why don't, you know, Why shouldn't I deserve a gift like that? I would give a gift like that in a heartbeat. I'd give a gift like that in a heartbeat. But my wound of worthiness sometimes will make it really uncomfortable for me to receive. And so I know that you have a wound of worthiness. If you're in addiction recovery space, if you're really on a deeper healing journey, I know you have a wound of worthiness. And I think that it would be really, really, really good. And don't do this if you're not stable, okay? Like if you're not mentally stable and can't really go back into your files, and please be very, very selective of what files you go back into. I wouldn't start with your deepest memory, but I would start with some places that this shows up and start getting the weed cut down to the root of where does this worthiness stem from? What does it look like? Can you take an inventory of your life? Where does it keep showing up? My wife and I had a conversation this morning, and in the language of people talking about blocks and energetic blocks and clearing blocks and all of that stuff, in all of that language, we were talking about this very, very thing. Is, we kind of established with her that her one of her greatest wounds is a wound of trust. And in the incident that happened, that where she was able to identify the moment that wound of trust began, we also got to see where her wound of worthiness began in that same situation. And so in doing something like that and being able to look at it from a perspective, not from the being within it, not being within the the grief of it, I guess, but being in with the place of you're looking at it as to build a strategy. If you guys have followed me for very long or been with me for a while, you know I'm huge on strategies. Strategies are the things that have helped me get to where I am today and that will continue to help me get to where I'm going. Because for me to have everything that I want, for me to be able to build recovery centers that focus in on whole self healing, for me to accomplish that as one of my biggest dreams, to really treat families and to treat the whole human, for me to accomplish that, I got to know I'm worthy to have that. And so, if we can identify a wound, where the wound of worthiness began, maybe we can begin to recreate the memory. How did you want it to be? Like, what would have been something that could have changed that? I also watched Back to the Future this weekend, and it all just kind of clicked in at once. You know, if one little thing changes, his entire life changes. What if you could go back there? What if you could recreate that in your mind? I don't know if you'd need to be maybe in a meditative state or contact a great hypnotherapist like Pamela Topchin and Hypno Breakthrough, to kind of help you get into a meditative state and really go back to that place and recreate it. I know it sounds woo-woo and I know it sounds crazy, but if you're like me, man, I'll try anything that is pure and of the light. Recreate that. Try to recreate that moment and start to let yourself receive the goodness that life has, even if it's the sunshine. If that's all you can truly experience, know that you are worthy to stand under God's light. You are worthy to be here. You are a powerful and beautiful creator of life, and you are here at this time for the shit show, for a valid purpose. And I'm telling you, the recovery community is going to be really, really vital in helping people heal in what we're moving, how we're shifting around, and what we're doing. So if you're here in this community right now, you're supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here. And you got to know that. You got to hold on to that. Especially on days that, man, I've had days in the last few months, but I just would ask myself, what's it all for? And I'm in year 11. I don't ever think about really going back out like I was. I know I couldn't do that, but it doesn't mean that I don't have the questions of what is it all for? I can't see clearly right now. And sometimes we muddy our own perceptions up with by distractions. And how can you not be distracted? If nothing else, you're distracted by the price of milk. You're distracted about a lot of things, and it's hard not to live in a state of fear in these what's happening. It's hard not to. But where our focus goes, that's where the energy flows. And so spend that time on you right now. Spend that time really developing yourself spiritually, getting strong within yourself, integrating all the lessons that have been learning, the importance of bringing that in, integrating it, feel all of that, let it move through your body. Don't hold it. Get some movement in every day. Move your body. I promise it makes a difference for your mental health when you use your physical body any way you're able. I know some people, can't really all walk well or all that stuff, but you can move your body in some type of way, whether it's just your nose. Get some movement. Don't let energy stay trapped and trauma stay trapped in your body, because it does. Look into that, ladies, especially ladies. Um, and move your body and get into creation. If you can't be grateful for nothing else, get outside. If it's so bad right now and you can't unravel it, just get outside. Have some sort of connection to something natural. We've got to stop grabbing our phones up and endlessly going from short video to short video just to get that escape, just to get that dopamine hit. I understand it. We're all a work in progress. Recovery is an evolving thing. But please, whatever you do, just hang in there and hold on. We're shifting and we're moving. And if we learn how to go with it and integrate it in, work on our worthiness, know that we are worth this new time. We're worthy to be here. We're worthy to live lives we love. We work on that, we're going to be okay. And we got each other. All right, so I'm going to go read some comments. So for people that are listening to this on the audio, please know I will try to be as descriptive as possible with these comments, because I've noticed I just randomly start talking to people and it makes no sense to people. So let me say some great hellos to my sister, my beautiful sister and friend, Pamela Topchin. Thank you so much for being here. Dana Moore. Thank you. Thank you for calling out all those names and calling the crew in here. Shasta, Brandy, thank y'all for being here. Talon, let's see. Thank you. The moment I knew I had to leave a narcissistic husband, oh my gosh. I know I had to go in 4 months. I had witnessed the love bombing and thought, wow. 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 What a lot to go through. What a lot to go through. And that goes into talking about talent, and that goes into that talking about where our worthiness can get wounded, because those kind of relationships take massive tolls on us emotionally. And so we have to, that is where a place that we can work on that worthiness, that those wounds around our worthiness. God love you. God love you. God love you. I hope that you are out of that relationship and that you are safe and well and healing. And I thank you so much for being here. Being here. I just pulled a Biden and just repeated my words. Dana's talking to people in the chat. I love it. I love it. Bradley Bagwell, I love you. So happy to see you here and to have your energy in this room. I love you. I love you and I miss you. Janine Richards. Janine, thanks for being here, my friend. We are back in the dayers with Bradley and Janine. Been here since the get-go. And Pam V too. I'm in my last Zoom call of the day, but I'll read back. Thank you for tagging me, Dana. And thank you for tagging Dana Moore. I appreciate that. Pam V, good luck with all that. Oh, man. I love you guys so much. And I really appreciate it. And sometimes I feel so scattered because I say this prayer before I ever come out here, no matter what. No matter what, I kind of, y'all know I don't ever really prepare, but I'll have some like key points that maybe I want to talk about or get in there. But I always pray just to be open for, to be a vessel for a message that could just possibly come through to somebody who needs it whenever, and wherever, and it for whatever time. So sometimes when that happens, my mouth's running and my brain's not really, it's like I'm speaking from my heart, not my brain. And so sometimes my brain will try to catch up and figure it out. So I appreciate y'all being patient with me. I appreciate y'all coming and showing up and lending your energy and talking amongst each other. And know we're live on 2, 4, 6, 7 different platforms, 7 different places. So hi to everybody. If I don't see your comments, I am sorry. I'll go back and read them. But hey, before I get out of here, guys, I want to always take the opportunity to let y'all know about some amazing resources. I love you guys. Love you guys so much. You guys are such a loving group. I love it. Y'all know y'all can follow Recovery Soul Food on TikTok at Recovery Soul Food, Instagram at Recovery_Soul Food. If you want to help the podcast keep going and growing, you can become a monthly supporter or make a one-time donation. It helps keep StreamYard paid, and it helps me be able to make little digitals. And so it's an honor. Y'all can go to anchor.fm/recovery soul food and click the support tab to do that. They have different packages, 99 cents a month, $4.99, and I think $9.99 is the highest that they have each month. And there's I have list some stuff there in the description this time if you feel led to do that. But what you should feel led to do is get my good friend Pamela Topchin's book, I Didn't Come This Far to Only Come This Far, at amazon.com/Pamela Topchin, because she has some great original art, journals, and a lot of different cool stuff over there. You can also get her newest book, Behind the Mask, Gloves, and Scrubs, One Nurse's Journey. She was a nurse in the recovery field and, has some really, just has a beautiful way of telling her story in a way that it's really motivating. It's really inspiring. This is absolutely one of my favorite books, my favorite resources. So pick that up. Pamela is also a holistic healer as well, and one of the things she specializes is guided visualizations and meditations and hypnosis. She's a hypnotherapist, um, not not anything else, but like a healer, a hypnotherapist, and she has a great YouTube channel, and she has a guided visualization to help relieve cravings. So if you are in a space where you're still having, physical and mental cravings, hey, that's free and that's on YouTube, and go check her out, and like and subscribe there as well. Hey, y'all know what else? And I know y'all know this guy. Oh, Maddie Jablonski wrote a book, Poetry of Change, and it's available at amazon.com/poetry of change. I'm so proud of him. He means so much to me. Y'all just don't know. That kid, quite a few years ago, just gave me this thing that helped me keep going, and I'm grateful to see where he is today, and I'm so proud of him for this very unique, very special way that he tells his story. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love Matty J and the Point of Change as well, and Miss Caitlin, Point of Change. I love them. So pick that book up, please. Amazon.com/poetry of change. And one of my favorite resources of the year is my good friend Martin John Garcia's Recovery Mentors, his version of the Tao Te Ching. It's very easy to read. It's all 81 verses. It's like a devotional for me. It just it gives me something for my soul to chew around and take apart in a day and to really put into practice. It's a great integration tool. That's the Tao Te Ching, and you can get that at martinjohn.com. And yeah, I think that's it, man. Thank y'all for sticking around. Thank y'all for doing all the stuff, the likes, the shares, the subscribes. Thank you so much for tagging everyone, Dana. I really appreciate that. Without people like you and my good friend Pamela Topjian, I wouldn't even be able to do this. I don't even get time to share or really promote this stuff. So it's because of y'all that more people get to hear whatever message they need. So thank you. All right. Until the next time, I love you guys. And remember, no matter what, you can absolutely get up from your give up and you can create a life you love. I'm living proof and I love you. See you next time. Bye.